Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special video showcase I'm going to once again be sharing with you another very useful field guide and guidebook that I've used to help me in my collection and journey collecting Transformers. So this is quite a small book, to be honest. I suppose it could be classed as a pocket guide. To give you a bit of an idea of just how small it is, there's just a standard set of deluxe legacy instructions, and as you can see, as he knocks the camera, that it is quite a bit smaller. It is obviously very thick, and I suppose sort of first disclaimer straight away with regards to this is the prices. Just completely ignore them, because A, it's quite an old book, and in all honesty you'll find that in all of these guidebooks, even though Mark Bellomo's books are brilliant, all of the prices are way out, and they have been for ages. So what I think and what I'm going to recommend this guidebook for is, I suppose, if you need to carry something around with you. In the UK we have things called car boot sales. In the USA they have things like, I think, called obviously garage sales, yard sales, and indeed obviously when they go to thrift stores. So what I think this would be better for, because it's got pretty much all the characters, as you can see, like this inside the book, you could use it as an identification guide with regards to that. And what I mean by that is, if you pick up a figure or you're not 100% sure what it is, okay, granted you might have to spend a couple of minutes or two just going through just to make sure that it is actually a Transformer, or if it's in here, but it can obviously confirm for yourself whether it is or not a actual Transformers Generation 1 figure. So we'll have a quick look at the contents anyway, and it's quite a few little, as I say, chapters there. So we've got how to use this book, abbreviations, price guides, and then the years. So what it means with how to use this book, it gives you an idea again, but it is mainly talking about prices, and it's actually quite good. Even though I've said to ignore the prices, what it does is it gives you a brilliant insight onto the abbreviations. I still get asked on my Instagram a lot, what does MOC mean, or MOSC? And of course this is all the explanations here. So for those of you who are unaware or never heard of it, MISB is of course mint in sealed box, and that basically is explaining that the figure is still sealed inside the packaging. Obviously you've got inside the box, inside the packaging, or on the card, because that's how they were all packaged. Transformers were packaged differently in each, depending on what the figure was. Some were on cards, some were in boxes. Now it's got a very, very brief price guide again, which I say we're pretty much going to ignore, but what it's got is all of the figures listed first and foremost there for all of Generation 1. And when I say all of Generation 1, I'm just referring to the Hasbro releases, so not the European exclusives, and definitely not the Takara versions either. And it goes, for those people who are unaware, series is, I suppose, the old terminology for what waves are. Like now, obviously, we hear of Legacy Evolution or Legacy Wave 1, 2, 3, or Cybertron Wave 1, 2, 3, etc. They used to be referred to as series, which basically used to be years. And as you say, with Generation 1, they went up to, see, Series 4 was 1987, and then we'll get to Series 5, which was 1988, and of course there's not many more years in the Hasbro continuity. And then it actually starts with the figures right here, so we're up to page 36, and again, you can maybe use this as a guide to have a look at the weapons and accessories, but it's not like that. The larger books, the other ones on this channel, if you go to this same playlist, are much better for identifying parts and different variants, shall we say. However, it's still a good little book. It's got, as I say, every single Transformer released under the Generation 1 continuity of figures with regards to Hasbro. Some of them boxed as well. It's got the mini bots. Again, unfortunately, no crazy variants. It's just got the most common. So obviously what we've got here is a pre-rub, rub sign, and of course the red Bumblebee. It does actually have Bumble Jumper, which you will see in a second, but as I say, with regards to Mexican mini bots, Argentinian and Brazilian, etc., it doesn't have them at all. It's the good thing is, though, as you can see, it's got, for the deluxe Autobots, it's got both modes, again, just to help you identify. And funnily enough, saying that, talking about variants, I know in a second when we get to Ratchet, it's got the one with the cross on the roof and the one without. Again, ignore the prices. It's just, as I say, a good little book for doing exactly that, because sometimes you can just never, or you might see a figure, or you might have seen a figure in a shop, you don't have this book on you, and you think, oh, what was that figure? You've got a good, big clear picture in your head of what it was. So you can come home, you can pick up the book, you can scroll through the pages, bit of luck, as I say, you'll remember exactly what it was. And yep, that was actually, you know, a Transformers figure. So this book is more useful for that, really, rather than anything else. But again, it's still really good if you like looking at Transformers. And I suppose if you want to see, let's okay, flip it on its head. If you want an idea, or if you want to use it as I suppose a collecting goal book, it can be very, very useful for that. So of course you've still got the series. It does say here 1985 series 2, so you know that might be your favorite year of Transformers, and you might just want to only collect them. So you know just by looking along the top of the pages which series it was, etc. And again, it can help you with your collecting goals. Some people only collect series 1 and 2. Some people only collect series 1 to 4, because that's of course when the cartoon stopped. And series 1 and 2 was 1984 and 1985. I've got so many friends and so many collector friends and acquaintances, etc., who collect various things just for different, just for their own reasons. So it is good that you can use it for that. So I just recommend it more for that, to be honest. You can then of course keep a list and tick obviously off the ones that you've got, or the ones of course that you wanted. Use it maybe as a little of a goal chart or a goal book with regard to your collection. Again, there's not really much more to say about it. It is good. It has got every single picture in, and I do think there's of course much better guidebooks, but for the size, for the price, what it was, it serves its purpose very well. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe you've used this, or maybe like myself, you've got the actual larger Mark Bellomo books as well. Again, great little reference guide. There's a good little, I suppose, introduction at the beginning talking about Transformers, where you know the ideas of them, etc. But otherwise, it is. Let's just have a look how many pages are in it, just to give you an idea, of course, of how many figures. Now, considering obviously there is somewhere you see both modes like that, it is, you can see, quite a thick book. We're on to page 350 now. It was up to 1988, so we've still got a couple more years to go. You will obviously notice, and again, this is probably why most people don't tend to collect the tail end of the Transformers Generation 1 series, that they have got incredibly basic compared to what they were like at the beginning of the book, which obviously sounds a little bit backwards, that the figures have got more basic and they were more complex when they first come out. It's a little bit of a shame, obviously, but obviously budgets, etc., and all the different factors that were playing hands at exactly the same time. So we've got Mega Pretenders here, which are brilliant, Micromaster bases, Micromaster huge bases, all connecting bases, Monstructor. So let's have a look at this, actually. That's interesting. Oh no, so we've got, that is interesting. So we've got Bristleback. I was just seeing if it's, oh, it's doing them in order there rather than doing the bots. Then it's showing Bludgeon, it's showing how they were packaged, which is quite good to see as well. And let's just scoot right to the very end then, just to give you again an idea of how big this book is. It looks like it's going to be about 500 pages, to be honest. Just shy. Oh no, it will be. There we go. Bonsai Tron. There's a few more here, and it goes right up with the index at the back there. So we're talking, that's the main book, that's the main one. If you want to get, again, ignore the prices in it, but if you want to have a look at the identification guide, it'll confirm which weapons go with which. That's a great book. But this has got, you know, just over 500 pages in it, and it's a great little read and a very useful source of information if you are interested in collecting and maybe completing a certain area of Transformers Generation 1. Let me know if you've got one, or let me know if you found this useful or interesting at all. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care.